What should I cook today? Made that soup. The seafood. Those were good. Maybe something that goes good with coffee. Dessert. Yeah. Duh. My name's Jason. I'm an actor and a comedian, which means I've worked in the restaurant business. For over 20 years to be exact. From fine dining to coffee shops. Man, I've done it all. And through the years, I've learned a lot of cool culinary tips and tricks. And I've also come to realize two very important things. Nothing beats home-cooked meals and family recipes. And the only thing I love more than eating good food is making it. Just remember, I'm not a chef. I just play one on TV. You ever sit around thinking to yourself, what are you going to cook today? Well, if so, then you and I are on the same wavelength. And you were probably thinking an apple crisp. And that's what we got laid out right here. I know it looks like a lot of ingredients, but it's not. It's going to come together really easy, and you're going to love it. And if you don't, who cares? We have apples, lemons, cinnamon, flour, walnuts, sugar, rolled oats, brown sugar, blueberries, and butter. Now we're gonna cut all this stuff up, chop it, slice it, peel it, put it in a pan, throw it in the oven, bake it up. We're even gonna make a whipped topping to go with it. I'm gonna show you how to do this. It really is super easy. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing we have to do is peel these apples. Now they have something called an apple corer peeler slicer, and my mom actually gave me her old one. I set it up the other day and it completely fell apart. So I guess today the apple core peeler slicer is me. So a little trick I like to do is I like to hold my knife in one spot, get it started, and then just kind of twist the apple as I go around to peel it. It's a fun little game because at the end you can see if you can keep the peel all together in one slice. Hey, look at that! Now you may have noticed that we had the green Granny Smith apples and these red Honey Crisp apples. We picked them not just because they rhyme, but because they help with the flavor profile. Flavor profile. Which just basically means sweet and sour. You get a little bit more taste in there. All right, now that the apples are peeled, we have to core them. Now I don't have too many gadgets, but I do have this, which is an apple corer. I just kind of like using it. Hello, I'm gonna core some apples. Let's keep going. Look how easy that is. Come on, man. It was like $7 on Amazon. Because where else do you buy anything these days? 2 more apples. All right, apples cored. Time to slice them. That was fun. You're welcome anytime. I'll see you next time I make an apple crisp. Okay, thanks again for using me. Oh my God. Should I move these apples to the other side? Is that better for the shot, maybe, since you're over there? So to slice them, I'm just gonna slice them kind of thin, maybe like this. Isn't that the best direction you ever got in a cooking show? kind of slim, kind of thin, maybe like this. You don't have to worry about it too much. We're gonna throw them all in a bowl. I picked a big bowl because I'm gonna wanna stir it all around once I get all the other stuff in. So I'll zest my lemon first before I cut it. I'm gonna hold my hand under the lemon when I squeeze the juice in because I don't want any seeds in my dessert. All right, so now that the apples and the lemon juice is in the bowl, we're gonna add the other stuff to this portion. We have our blueberries. It's about a cup. Half a tablespoon of cinnamon. A tablespoon of flour. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Boom. Now, we're gonna take our spatula and we're gonna mix this all around. You can chop down on it a little bit. As you're doing this, you can really smell everything coming together. I smell the cinnamon, the lemons, the apples. Oh man. Couple stabs with the spatula. Oh, it smells killer. So now I'm gonna set this aside and get working on the top portion of this apple crisp. All right, so our apples are over there chilling. Now we're gonna make the topping. I just went and got the butter from the refrigerator because you want it kind of cold. Now the original recipe called for half a cup of butter, which is a whole stick, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut the butter in half. I'm gonna put half as much. I think with all the juice and everything from the apples and the blueberries, I think this is gonna be enough to get us through it. So here's our bowl, and we're gonna add all the other ingredients. Got them all conveniently stashed right there. Now here's what's gonna happen. We have about a cup of oats and a half a cup of flour. I'm gonna throw that in there. We have a cup of brown sugar. Oh yeah. We have a whole teaspoon of cinnamon. Now I'm gonna put my lemon zest in. Now I have about a half a cup of walnuts. I'm gonna crunch them up in my hands before I drop them in there. And then I'm gonna eat these. Now the butter, I'm gonna cube it a little bit, which means multiply by 3. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. Look at that. Who's ever seen that before? Should have been a pyramid builder. Now let me show you another cool little gadget that I just got. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a dough cutter or something like that. Anyway, another really cool thing. So instead of having to get in here with my fingers and mush the butter up, I use this and kind of push it through, and man, it does a good job. All right, now we're ready to rock and roll. We got our apples over here, our topping over here. We just need something to put it in. So, voila. This was supposed to be a disposable pan, but it's only disposable if you get rid of it, ladies and gentlemen. I've held on to this thing for quite some time. Now we're gonna go ahead and start by putting our apples in the pan. I should open up the camera. Apples and blueberries, oh my. And man, you gotta get all the little bits out of there. That's why you got a spatula, guys and girls. Yeah, get it all. Oh my goodness. Give it a little shake. What do you think, guys? Does that look good? Okay, don't say anything, that's fine. And now the deal is, we're gonna take this and sprinkle it on the top. Just use your hands. Putting a blanket on it before you put it to bed. Give it a little pit pat. Now this is gonna go into a 375-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes or until it starts to bubble on the sides. All right, so our apple crisp is in the oven, and now we're gonna make a whipped topping as promised. And once you see how easy this is, you'll probably always want to do this. We have a big bowl. The reason I'm using a big bowl is because I'm going to get this mixer in there and I don't want the stuff to fly everywhere. And I have a cup and a half of whipping cream or heavy whipping cream. It just depends on how heavy you're feeling. We're going to go ahead and pour it in there. All right, we'll just go ahead and get that out of here. Now I have 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm gonna add a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. But you know, you never really just do a half a teaspoon, so let's do a little bit more. Oh, that's a full teaspoon. Oh. There they are, folks, the star of the show, the dogs. Let me go figure out what's going on. All right, so I buried the body, and now let's get back to making this whipped topping, huh? All right, here we go, hand mixer time. I don't know if you guys have one of these, but it's a handy thing to have. Let's crank it up a little bit. And then you just get it to work in there. And you kind of want it to hit the bowl because then you're getting all the sugar and stuff in there. That's how you know it's doing work. It's gonna double in size, maybe a little more, and then you'll start to see little ripples in it. Just don't give up. Look at that, there we go. Thicker and thicker. Oh, I had one more gear. And there you go. Look at that. Whip topping. We just made Cool Whip out of nothing. And it doesn't have any plastic in it. Now we're gonna put it in the fridge and let it keep cool while our apple crisp continues to bake. All right, it's been about 35 minutes, so let's go ahead and check it. I know the whole house smells like it. Right on the edge, you can kind of see it bubbling. It's kind of tough. If you listen really closely, you can hear it bubbling too. Hear it? Bubble, bubble, toilet trouble. Now we're gonna set this aside and let it cool before we serve it. All right, while our apple crisp was baking, we set up to make vegan scones. Why vegan scones? Why not? They're delicious and they're really easy to make. I know it looks like a lot of ingredients, but I promised you that's just how it goes when you bake. But they come together quickly. Let me show you what it's all about. We have 3 cups of flour, 2 cups of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of almond milk, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a cup of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of canola oil, half a cup of vegetable shortening, and then I have about 1.5 cups of dried cranberries and about 1.5 cups of dark chocolate, although as I keep eating them, there might not be that much. Anyway, I'm gonna put the whole thing together right now so you can see how easy it is. First step, you wanna add the apple cider vinegar to the almond milk. So go ahead and pour it in there. I need a spoon, because I want to stir it around. I want this to curdle a little bit. It won't curdle too much, but you wanted to do it. That kind of gets all the goodness happening. So we'll set this aside real quick. You can see it kind of going to work. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start getting all of our stuff together. All right, let me move this out of the way so I can put my bowl down. I'm going to put my bowl down. All right, here we go. Nice big bowl. We're going to take our flour, put it right in. Now we're gonna take our sugar. All of our dry ingredients are gonna go in here. Half a cup of sugar. Take our salt. Salt goes in. I organized my drawer a little bit from last time so I can get things a little better. So here we go, we're whisking. There you go, perfect. Now whisk is perfect for getting all those things together like that. It's better than a fork. I never used to think so, but now I'm a fan. All right, all of our dry ingredients are in the bowl. Now we're going to add our vegetable shortening. Now this is cool or cold, not room temperature, okay? We do that because we want it to retain its shape while we put it in here to a degree. We can get it in here with the spatula. Always handy, gotta love a spatula. Now the dough hook comes out, guys. So look, I'm gonna show you what it looks like now. And that did a wonderful job. You can look in here. You can see it's a little kind of grainy, granule-y. Granule-y? That's a word. I'm gonna get a wooden spoon. And I'm gonna make a well in the middle of this. And once you make a well, you throw a penny in it and make a wish. Okay, so now we're gonna take our milk, which we have put the apple cider vinegar in. Here we go. We're going to add our vanilla extract. We're going to add our canola oil. Now, we are going to go ahead and add everything else as well. We'll put our cranberries in. And our dark chocolate. And then you just take a wooden spoon and mix it around. Now, you don't want to mix it too much. You can over mix this. So once it starts coming together, you're pretty much done. And if you want to look in here, and you can see, it's kind of doughy. It's looking good. And look at that, I think that's done. Finished, done. Now I'm gonna take my spatula, because you know me, I like to get all the bits. And now here's something I like. Another gadget, a scooper. I never used to think I always use 2 spoons or something to get the stuff out, but I tell you what, this is super handy, and it kind of keeps you from getting your hands in it, even though I have told you that I like to get my hands in it. All right. Not exactly a full scoop, and they don't all have to be exactly the same size. There you are, 2 pans of vegan dark chocolate and cranberry drop scones. We're gonna drop them in the oven and let them bake for 18 to 20 minutes on 375 degrees. Here we go. I'm gonna set my watch. It smells good in here, guys. All right. All right, it's been 20 minutes. These guys are ready, so let's go ahead and pull them out of the oven. You can see that they don't really expand too much, but they sure do look good. And they smell good too. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these off of these hot pans and onto this wire rack so they can cool. I always open the wrong drawer. All right, here we go. Boom. So, scoot it right off. Look at that. All right, so now all we have to do is let these guys cool for a second and then eat them. All right, there we go. Vegan scones and our apple crisp and our fresh whipped topping. Let's put a little bit on there. All right, now it's down to the taste test. What should we do first? Oh, let's do the scones, see how it is. All right, there we go. Got a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of cranberry. Oh man, it's good. It's still moist, which is what you want in a scone. You know, who wants a dry scone? That's what I really love about this recipe is it's still moist, 18 to 20 minutes in the oven. That's all you need. Now let's try the apple crisp, huh? All right, look at that, I got blueberries. I see the apples, all the cinnamon. Man, all right, I'll get a little bit of the whipped cream. Let's just grab a big old bite, who cares? These are both good. That's killer. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I hope if you make these at home, you enjoy making them as much as I do. And remember, as always, I'm not a chef. I just play one on TV. You guys are gonna be pumped on this apple crisp. The vegan scone's good too, though. Nom nom nom. I'm gonna eat everything at once. Some of you watching the show, and especially some of you bakers, may have noticed that I forgot to put a very key ingredient into the scone recipe, and that is baking powder. 2 tablespoons of it to be exact, ladies and gents. The baking powder will help the scones rise. You mix it in with the dry ingredients. So if you're gonna try this recipe, and I hope you do, you please remember to put 2 tablespoons of baking powder in with the dry ingredients when you're making them. It's gonna make the scones rise up. It's gonna make them taste even better. It's gonna make them look like this. But anyway, you know, that's the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. They say you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, and we're just experimenting here in the kitchen, having a good time, and we just want you to have a good time and enjoy your time in the kitchen. And remember, like we always say, I'm not a chef. I just play one on TV. So all I need to do is just be looking out the window kind of thinking and